So if you guys have been on this planet as long as me, as we get my mic adjusted here, do you know life can reward you with the highest of highs, but it can also hit you with the lowest of lows? Well, this past couple days, I've kind of been through the roller coaster of it all, so I want to get into the story and share you guys just what happened. So I'll try not to drag it out and make it too boring, but this story, of course, it starts off with a Facebook Marketplace deal. Earlier in the week, I saw this wonderful ad for a Jungle Green Nintendo 64, and it also had some very solid games with it if you look at them. We got Conker's Bad Fur Day, some other solid titles in there. So of course, I wanted to go get this stuff. I really wanted to add a Jungle Green Nintendo 64 to my collection for a long time now, and I need Conker's Bad Fur Day for my Nintendo 64 collection. And after paying the $375 asking price and getting rid of all the extras that I didn't need from that lot, I'd be all in for those two items at just 100 to 120 bucks. So that is an awesome price to be getting those two items at. But there is a bad thing with this deal. It's over 2 hours away from my house. It's in a little town called Omak, Washington, and it was going to be like a 2-hour drive to go get there. And then of course you got to make the drive back. And I saw this ad on a Wednesday, so I wouldn't be able to do it until Saturday. So I asked the lady, hey, I'm interested. If you can hold it till Saturday, I'll buy everything and I'll drive up there and we can meet. She actually agreed to it. She's like, yeah, I'm all cool with it. So that was the plan. We were going to make a family day out of it. We were going to hit the road because we've never really drove that far north here in Washington yet since we moved here. And we were just going to make a journey out of it and have a good time. And that's what we did. We went up, we kind of stopped at some sites. We did a couple pictures and everything while we were out, just taking in everything. And it was a nice ride. So we eventually get there and we meet up with her. I'm like, hey, can I check this stuff out? I brought my little game bit here to take the cartridges apart to make sure everything was legit. And of course, the first game I want to pick up is the Conker's Bad Fur Day. And I could just tell immediately, guys, once I saw that label and you feel the weight, you know a fake game when you're holding a fake game. But just to make sure, I go ahead and take it apart. And at first she didn't know what I was doing. So I was explaining to her what I was doing to make sure if they were fake or real. Now this didn't make sense to her because she thought that when you stuck it in the cartridge and it turned on, she's like, it still works. It's like, yeah, that's how they fake stuff though. It'll still work like a normal game, but it's not a legit copy. It's a reproduction. And of course, upon opening it, it had a reproduction board in it. It didn't have the L-shaped board. It was just that standard repro board. So my heart sank. Picked up the other one. That felt the same way. But not only that, every game in that lot was fake. There was only one real game, and that was this one, the Rugrats Scavenger Hunt game. So I'm glad it was real because I was able to take it apart and show her what the real board would look like with the correct labeling, with Nintendo and everything stamped on there. And after that, she completely understood. But man, guys, it just really stunk because I not only felt bad for, of course, for myself, but I felt bad for her because she was really in need of the money. I believed her story. I don't believe she was really trying to scam me. Maybe she knew these were fake, but I knew she needed the money and I wasn't going to be able to give her any. I pretty much paid 15 bucks, which is overvalue on that Rugrats game because I just felt bad. And the Jungle Green 64, even that didn't have OEM controllers and stuff, so I passed on that anyways because she just wanted $200 for that alone. She was pricing the games lower. I was like, nah, I can't do that. I could just get it cheaper somewhere else. So as much as I wanted to help her, I just wasn't going to overpay for something like that, especially for the waste of time having to drive all the way out there. But I kept my cool and everything. And I'm just lucky my wife wasn't mad or anything like that. They took it really well too. So, but you know, I just sucked it up and we just went ahead and explored the town. It's a little small town of like about 5,000 people, but hey, it had 2 thrift stores in it. It had a really nice diner to eat at, had a nice little ice cream shop we took the kids to. So it's crazy how smaller towns, like I have one secondhand store in my town and this place has like several of them and it's smaller. But in one of the 2 thrift stops I stopped in, they did have an NES game. It was their only game there, and it was one I needed. So for $5, we got The Adventures of Lolo. And in another thrift shop, I bought some VHS tapes. So not the worst, but still. With what I was going up there hoping to add to my collection, it was just a bummer. Still had fun with my family though, and pretty cool to see a new place. But man, it just was a bummer. So of course Sunday comes, go to church and kind of get a cleansing from how Saturday went. But then Monday rolls around, and this is when the roller coaster starts getting speed again. We're catching back up, baby, because I got a glorious ding on my phone earlier today from a familiar name. If you guys remember the last video I did, the last pickup video, I picked up a bunch of Game Boy stuff from a neighbor from a post that I did in my neighborhood Facebook page asking for games. And he said he had that Game Boy stuff, so we made a deal on it. And he told me he had some 64 stuff. He just needed to dig it out and find it. And man, that is what he did. I couldn't believe it. After the weekend that I just had over some 64 stuff, here comes Chris, hit me with this text message, just changing everything. I said, of course I want those things, man. And then I explained to him what had happened this weekend. And then next he started sending pictures, guys, of the stuff. And man, I cannot wait to show you guys the pickups. Of course he had a system, but I didn't need that. So pretty much just made a deal on the games. And this is the stuff we got. Starting off with 2 memory cards here, because it's always nice to have memory card space. Then he had 4 loose games and 7 complete in box games. Of course, we're going to slow roll this, so we're going with the loose stuff first. Starting off with NFL Quarterback Club 2000, Mission Impossible, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and Beetle Adventure Racing. Now for the good stuff, and like I said, all this is complete in box except for one, and I'll talk about it when we get to it. First up, Madden 99, NASCAR 2000, and I know there's sports games and stuff, but it's still complete in box stuff from back in that time. It's still awesome to have, and I love NASCAR games. My favorite probably being NASCAR 98. So, and unfortunately that wasn't made for the 64. I played that on PlayStation. And when you're cruising with flirting with disaster, like with Dale Earnhardt going through Talladega, I just loved it. But no flirting with disaster in this game. But with the sports stuff out the way, let's get into some goody good stuff. 007, The World Is Not Enough. Been a really good box here, guys. It's in really good shape. And you can't have one 007 without having the Big Daddy himself here. 007 GoldenEye. Game of the Year, Player's Choice Edition, even though the game in here did not have the Player's Choice stamp on it. So, interesting. I don't know if there actually is one with a stamp or not, but the one in here doesn't have it. Box has seen better days, but still. It's a box GoldenEye, baby. Follow that up with a little Star Wars Rogue Squadron. Again, little indentation on the back here, but still awesome. Now, these last 2, of course, I was the most excited about. First one here being Mario Golf. Love the Mario Golf games. And this box, unfortunately, is dented in a little bit. You can see there on the front, but I'm still stoked to have it. This is the one that is not fully complete. It is missing the actual manual. It has all the inserts and stuff in it, but no manual. But still, awesome, awesome addition here. So we're at the last game. So go ahead and leave your guesses in the comments below. What do you think it is? You know, if you look over my shoulder here, there could be a little bit of a hint. So if that didn't already give it away, I'm of course talking about Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And yes, this bad boy is complete in box. So could not believe to see this there, and I'm finally able to add it to my collection. This is the Player's Choice version. It does have the stamp actually on the cartridge, but hey, I do not care. It's not a collector's edition one or anything, but it's still a CIB Ocarina of Time. And you know, Ocarina of Time here is a really special game for me because when I first got my Nintendo 64, I got it for Christmas. And I want to say it was in the winter of '99 when I got it, because I remember getting blitzed for it. It was the only game I had for it. And of course, what do? You go out and you rent stuff. And Ocarina of Time was the first game I ever rented for my 64. It eventually became a permanent addition to the collection because we never returned it to the store. So yeah, mom's card got charged, but I got to keep the game. Anyways, that copy has been long gone. And of course I have added copies to my collection that are cart only, but to have it complete in box is one of the goals I've always wanted for the channel. I know it's not the most outrageous game to get, but I always just hold things off. I just hold off because you never know what kind of deal you'll come across, and then you can come across a great deal like I did today. So awesome to finally add it. And you know, we all have like collecting goals. I have the goals of some complete sets I want to do, but I also have some side mission goals. You know, I love Metroid, so I've been collecting all those games, CIB, Castlevania, Dragon Quest, so on and so forth. But Zelda is another one especially for the classic titles. I'd love to have them all complete in box, so excluding that CDI stuff, but we're making some progress slowly but surely. We got our Link to the Past back here. We got our Ocarina of Time. We got our Minish Caps and DS stuff, so we're making some good moves on that. So what do you guys think? The roller coaster of the past couple days has been insane, but it ended on a pretty good note if I say so myself. So let me guys know what you think in the comments below. See you guys in the next one.